What up, y'all? How's it going? So, this has been a pretty interesting week with Specialized recalling the SL7 Tarmac. These bikes are over $10,000. I think some of them are even inching towards $20,000. And they're starting to fall apart. You'd think for $16,000 or something that these bikes cost, you think they would be quite good bikes, but they don't seem to be very good bikes. The reviews I keep hearing are pretty terrible. What I have behind me is the original Tarmac, one of the best bikes, arguably the best bikes ever made. This one right here I got for $500. I think it was, maybe a $8,000 bike back in the day. So I'm a mechanic. So looking at the headset of the SL7 Tarmac, it looks awfully complicated, and it's very revolutionary design compared to the normal bike designs these days. So right off the bat, assembly and maintenance is going to be crazy with this bike. Really complicated, very expensive. You're going to have your bike in and out of the shop a lot with little adjustments. And depending on how well the assembly is, if you have some new mechanic at some shop puts this bike together half-ass, yikes. It's going to be really scary. And we're doing, going fast on these bikes. And the steering wheel's kind of important. So, the one thing about this that really seems like BS is that Specialized is one of the biggest bike companies on the planet. They have a ton of money. They have they have all the R&D tech that they need to verify that these bikes are safe before putting them on the market. They have machines that twist the carbon and put impacts on the bike, and they leave it on there for months, to see what fails first. So the fact that these bikes are on the road and they're failing shows that Specialized knew that this headset unit is a terrible design. You can look at it and see that it's a pretty terrible design. I understand what they were trying to do, but they've made a bike so light and aero that it's no longer safe. And if you're dead, what difference does it make how fast, you went down or through a segment on Strava? It doesn't make any sense to make a bike so light that it's dangerous, which this seems to be quite dangerous. You have hydraulic brake lines touching metal. You have, just very strange design. And basically, anyone who bought this bike for $16,000 is the guinea pig. And they're risking their lives riding this bike because they trust Specialized. $16,000. Does the bike come with an 8-ball of Coke and a hooker? Like, what? And these bikes are made in China, people, for probably $50 a piece. So not only is Specialized selling dangerous bikes, but they're ripping people off. They're completely reaming them. So if you bought one of these bikes, you should be furious. You should reevaluate first why you would ever spend this kind of money on a bicycle when you could buy a $500 Tarmac that'll probably blow this bike out of the water. Makes no sense. This bike is lighter than this bike. This bike is easier to maintain than this bike. This bike is tried and true. And you can pick them up for very cheap these days. So why would you spend $16,000? on a bike like this. And another thing, just in life in general, you should never buy the first series of anything. If a new design of anything in the world, whether it's a cell phone or a car or a bicycle, don't buy the first series of it. You're going to be the guinea pig. Buy the next year or the next year or the next year. Now that, it makes complete sense. If they have a bike design for 5 years, they're going to refine it. They're going to find out the things that are wrong with it and make a really good version. The first series is always has the least amount of brain power in it. But the fact that Specialized is selling these bikes knowing that it has a weak headset design, I would sue the living shit out of these guys. It's just bonkers. So now they've put out a recall telling people not to ride their bikes. And they sent out this little sleeve, right? This little sleeve that's allegedly going to make the bike safe, which is complete BS. And it's funny. So the other reason why I know Specialized knew about this is because if you look at the Tarmacs that the pros are using in the World Tour, they don't have the same headset design as this. They have a headset design that's been reinforced correctly. So the fact that they know that it's a weak design, it proves that they know that it's a weak design because they beefed up the one the pros are using. So it's really shady, really shady. And if you bought one of these, you should be pissed. But I would sue. I would return the bike. I would sue, and I would buy something like this and save that money. Buy some crypto with that extra freaking $15,000. You'll be a lot happier in the end, and you won't be dead. So anyway, shady. Shame on you, Specialized. Talk to you guys later.